Latrice, you need to run, girl. Hey, what's up and hello? This is D. Chris Nicole giving you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. And this is my review on Belle Collective Season 3, Episode 1, Zaddy in the Middle. It should be called Old Ass Cliff in the Middle or Old Ass Ninja in the Middle. But let's continue. So we start off with Latrice in her beautiful home, and we see that Cliff is downstairs with his grandkids. And so with that, Latrice says she doesn't really like kids, but because the grandkids and I guess some of Cliff children are staying with them. She doesn't really like kids, but she said that the kids are growing on her and she is getting attached. Um, I don't know how much I believe that, but okay. I mean, at the end of the day, Latrice does still come off like she's, still selfish and about herself. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a firm believer. If that's what you want to do, get all of your dreams, all of your goals out, everything that you want to do before you have kids. Because at the end of the day, once you have kids, your life belongs to your kids. So I definitely don't have an issue with that. I just wonder again if she's feeling pressure trying to possibly have kids because of Zaddy. So, but we'll see. But all of a sudden, her employee slash friend Josh comes, and they did talk about the water crisis in Jackson, Mississippi, and how in Jackson, in the city of Jackson, there's a water issue, but she lives on the outskirts of Jackson. But Josh lives in Jackson, so Josh is staying with her until this water issue gets better. Child Josh, and it was given storyline, but then at the same time, it was giving that Josh is Latrice's mouthpiece because she can't speak for herself when it comes to Cliff. Josh is like, why she gotta cook all the time? Why can't you cook? Like he's going in on Cliff to the point where Cliff gets up and he's like, Latrice, you better check your employee. And Josh is like her friend. And Cliff says, friends don't get checks. Latrice, you better check them. I agree. You don't come into no one's house starting no nonsense, even if they are having issues. That is not your place. That's why I said it's kind of giving storyline. So we find out Josh goes to Latrice's room and we find out that Latrice and Cliff are sleeping in separate rooms. Okay. So that's why I guess he felt he could really say something. But again, you still need to stay in your place. That's still their house. They are still married. So he starts talking to Latrice about, if she's happy and how, he's seen a change in her. And she starts to tear up and, she's like, look, I know what you're telling me. I'm sure she's heard other people tell her the same thing. But she says, I need to see it for myself. And I agree. You cannot keep forcing your friend to see that they're in a toxic relationship. You can't. They have to see it for themselves. Otherwise, if they try to do it for everyone else except for themselves, they're going to leave the relationship and come back or end up getting into another toxic relationship. Latrice has to fix what's going on inside of her and understand why she got into that relationship in the first place. And I think she knows why she got into that relationship. She even mentioned it at the reunion. She has severe man problems. She has daddy, not zaddy, but daddy issues, which is why she married that man. They're not evenly yoked, okay? She's super ambitious. He comes off super controlling. It's just not a good look. But she has to see it for herself so she can move on and not make the same decision or choices again. So we'll see how that goes for this season. So next we have Letitia, and she's telling us that her business is going really, really great, which I'm happy for her. One thing about these women, they are truly ambitious. I'm just trying to figure out what is Latrice's expertise. Like I know she does the empowerment brunches, but everybody kind of has their own lane. Well, except for Akeisha. I'm trying to figure out what Akeisha lane is. But Marie has healthcare. Latrice has hair. Tambra has radio personality, hosting and stuff. What is Letitia's expertise? Like, what is her specialty? And if you guys know, please let me know. Whatever it is, though, maybe she specializes in a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but she's making a coin, so I'm happy for her. She says that her and Glenn are having issues again. And he's gotten back into that social media nonsense again. And at this point, I'm wondering if she did mention that, she has outgrown him in the last season. They've been together since they were like 17, 18 years old. You're definitely not the same person at 17 that you are in your late 30s, even early 40s. Like, that's just a totally different person. So I'm wondering if, they just have outgrown each other and they need to move on. Would hate that. But at the same time, it's just like this back and forth. This back and forth don't seem like it's good for your son either. So I'm wondering though, and let's have a serious discussion about this because Letitia mentioned that she had a hard time having her son, if I'm not mistaken, because they've been together for a while and they only have one child. I'm wondering if him wanting to have more children has anything to do with that. Does he possibly want more kids and he just doesn't want to tell Letitia? Like, let's talk about that. Do you think that's really the main issue or he's just a low down dirty dog? But let me know in the comments. So Gucci and her husband, I think his name is JJ. I just call him cartoon because he's a cartoon character to me. He's cooking dinner for her and making dessert, and then he puts whipped cream around his nasty ass mouth. I guess he thought it was funny or cute. It just looked disgusting to me. But then at the same time, just his whole vibe, like the pigtails in his head, like maybe it's because he is just super duper country. Like super duper country. Like all of the men are country except for Akeisha's husband, but he is just super duper country. I don't know. But anywho, he's made dinner for So Gucci. Very sweet scene until so Gucci is wondering, like, why are you doing this? Come to find out, JJ is pretty much saying that his mother wants to move into the house. And so Gucci is like, oh, hell nah. And she's like, I know you talked to me about this first before you told her yes, right? He don't say anything. So Gucci at this point is pissed. And she was like, done with dinner. And you ain't getting no freaky tales tonight either. So, child, we'll see how that go. So Tambra has a talk with her boo Damon about having her own space, and I can so relate. Look, ladies, especially ladies who have been on their own for a while, I am so scared. Like I love, I love, marriage and creating a strong household, having kids. But I am so nervous because I have literally lived on my own for so long. Like I've never actually lived with any man that I've had a relationship with. We've always had separate spaces. I am so nervous about sharing a space after so many years of having my own space. I so related to Tambra, and let me know if you guys can relate because I'm just like, when you've been doing it on your own for so long, I feel like it is going to be difficult. And that's what it seems like Tambra is going through. And she's like, I need my own space. She's like, I need a condo. Like, you got your man cave, I need mine. And I agree with that. And honestly, that may not be traditional, but at the same time, hey, whatever works for them is what works for them. If she needs her own zen space to be able to regroup and, get back to her man, then so be it. Shit. Who are we to judge in the situation? So Akeisha and So Gucci meet, and Akeisha says she has never seen that side of Tambra before, and how Tambra lied about Akeisha calling the girls ugly. But ma'am, you said you called them ugly. You admitted that at the reunion. You may not have used the word ugly, but based on the picture, you said you didn't see any cute girls in that picture. That is a passive aggressive way of calling them ugly. So are you mad that she used the word ugly and she just didn't say she didn't see any cute girls? It's the same thing. So I don't know what she's talking about. Now I do agree that Tambra definitely she took too much crap back to them girls, and it was like an attack on Akeisha. And at the end of the day, hey, it is what it is, and it's also a television show too. But let's not pretend like you didn't call these women ugly. So Akeisha said Tambra's beef should be with Letitia, since she brought that drama with her man Damon, with that lady who was on last season. And to a certain extent, I agree, but at the same time, I think all of them understand that this is a television show and the drama has to be created, and sometimes the drama will catch them off guard. I think Tambra is not mad at Letitia. She was mad at the other lady. But I think honestly, without that storyline, Tambra would have been boring and maybe would be on the show this season. Who knows? So I think Tambra understands that, and that's why she's not tripping off of Letitia. Like, you brought a storyline to me, and I'm gonna play this storyline out. So Gucci meets with Letitia and Marie. Letitia is condo shopping. And I just have to point out something that Letitia said. Letitia said she loves the condo and she loves that it's a gated community because she doesn't want any pop-ups. Honey, you can still get a pop-up in a gated community. Gated communities, unless you truly have like a single family home and you have a gate surrounding your single family home, gated communities for like, HOA type of communities, it's an illusion that you can keep random people from popping up at your door. They will still come to your door. Trust me, I know. So Gucci tells the girls that Latrice got another real estate agent for her business. And how, the girls, Marie and Letitia, is like, see, she a snake. She was a Judas. Well, that was more so a Marie saying that, but I mean, they didn't disagree. But they was like, see, I told you how she is. I told you how she is. But in the next scene, Latrice says that so Gucci messed up her deal for a building, and because she's a businesswoman, she had to get her own real estate agent because she didn't have time to waste. I can understand that. And maybe so Gucci specializes in residential and not commercial real estate, because apparently if she only showed Latrice one building, that's not good business. That's like showing somebody one house. You need to give them a variety. So maybe she doesn't specialize in commercial real estate, but at the same time, just be honest with her, Latrice. Just tell her, like, this is not working out. And do you have maybe any commercial real estate agents you could recommend? But at this point, I just don't think it's going to work for this particular situation. So in this scene also, Josh again, crossing lines, talking to Latrice. And Latrice pretty much says, Josh, like, chill, mind your business, you are living in our house for free. But she's saying it with a smirk on her face, which is why I said it's giving me storyline, or it's giving me that I've talked too much to Josh, so now I have to try to tell him nicely to play it cool because I told him too much information. So now he feels like he can assert himself in that damn information. So Josh pretty much tells her, I think you want me out of the house because you don't want me to know what's going on behind those walls. And based on this last scene, yeah, I can probably say Josh may have a point. So we see Latrice at this bar with her friend. The next thing you know, we hear Cliff talking, and Cliff comes to her and talks to her like she is his child. He's like, get up, take your mic off. They finally go outside, and one of the questions that Cliff asks is, you know, were y'all talking about me? Like, y'all talking about me? And I'm like, Cliff, you are so insecure. Like, even if she was talking about you, who cares? Now, granted, if she's telling too much of the business inside the household, I can agree with that. But at the same time, that's what most women do. Hell, that's what most men do. When they're amongst each other, they talk about the marriage. They talk about the relationship to a certain extent, the frustrations or the good things. Like, that's what people do. So with that, child, he grabs her. And I would have to say it was pretty aggressive. But her reaction to me came off as a reaction that this has happened before. She wasn't shocked by it. She did say, don't put your hands on me that way. But she wasn't shocked by him putting his hands on her, which really makes me wonder at this point. It really does. Next thing you know, he tells her to take her mic off. She does what she's told. We see them talking, and then he proceeds while he's talking to her to call her a bitch. Straight up called her a bitch. And of course, he's talking about Josh too, saying, he need to get out my house, this, and that, and that. Latrice, you need to run, baby. You need to run, because at this point, this is, if he's willing to do that knowing the cameras are there, it does make me wonder what he's doing behind closed doors. Because he knew the cameras were there. Now, he told them to put the cameras down, but he know how this work at this point. This is the third season. And he knew that you had that mic on. He had no problem with telling you to come outside, take that nonsense off, put his hands on you, knowing the cameras was there. I think at the end of the day, that was the end of the episode, but they show what's going to happen in this season. Latrice is saying that she's thinking about, she wants to have a baby by spring. Yeah, I don't know at this point. And I think she's still hesitant, and I don't blame her. Like, at this point, you need possible counseling, but you've already recognized what the issues are. You married this man because of your own daddy issues. You don't feel truly confident, in my opinion. You don't feel truly confident that this is the man for you. Okay, you guys aren't even evenly yoked, and I'm not even talking about the age difference, because that in itself is a lot, but I'm also talking about ambition. Like, you are very, very ambitious, and he doesn't seem that way. And I honestly feel that if she, in my opinion, if she truly had a man around her age, just as ambitious, very supportive, and you guys can support each other, I don't think she would have a problem having a child. I think she's hesitant about having a child with him. I don't know. Like, I feel like she still wants to do her own thing, but then at the same time, if she felt it was a great situation, I don't think she would have an issue with a child, because she got the money to be able to sit up there and have nannies and everything else while she runs her business. Something is there. All I know is, to me, in this episode, I was like, ooh, Latrice, this is not good, boo. We already were seeing signs like, we don't know about this. But this episode kind of confirmed some things where it's just like, I don't know if this is the relationship for you. But what do you guys feel about it? Do you feel Latrice, um, is she in this relationship for the right reasons? Is he in the relationship for the right reasons? Is it a Southern thing for him to be that quote unquote controlling? I don't know. I have definitely seen men in the South who can be controlling, but then I've seen men in the South who can they treat their women like queens. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on my next video, honey.